But here we know that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda have unique, you can say, mood. They was very merciful. They want to give Krishna consciousness very freely. For example, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, you should give up everything. The Janma karma chamediyam. Oh, no. Reject everything, Krishna. I forget, in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharma pritya jam makam sharanam raja. First you should give up everything. And then I, accept you. But Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they was not like that. For example, Jagai Madai, they doesn't give everything up, It's just opposite. They take everything, They commit every sin that you can find in the Vedas, except Vaishnava Paratha. And even they do Vaishnava Paratha. They do this Vaishnava Paratha to Lord Nityananda. And still Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda saved them. So, and we can say that the wonder. Krishna is very liberal in as Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And second wonder is that they illuminate the innermost depths of the heart. Interesting point, because in Kali Yuga, the hearts of living entities are very hard. The only thing that inhabitants of Kali Yuga are thinking is how I can gratify my senses, how I can commit sins more and more. Nobody think about self-realization now. Nobody. Only they think about self-realization, but in terms of making money and do something like that and be happy in material world, enjoy senses and so on. But Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda can illuminate the innermost depths of the heart of these inhabitants of Kali Yuga. Very interesting point. And their devotee also can do that. For example, Srila Prabhupada. When he came to America, he thought that there will be, very intelligent persons, and Prabhupada give them Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He give them, Vedic knowledge, Vedic philosophy, because Vedic philosophy is very sophisticated. It's not for, how usual dude, You can't understand Vedic philosophy, if you doesn't have any brain, Prabhupada very often use these words. You should have little intelligence to understand it. How to say sarcasm, Prabhupada sarcasm, little intelligence, For example, yesterday we discussed with Gopal Krishna Prabhu that in our body there is a special air force, we can say Mukhya Prana. And this Mukhya Prana is always chants holy name, Hamsa. You can hear it. Ham-sa, Ham-sa, Ham-sa. That is the Vedic culture. That is the Vedic philosophy. Everything connected with Krishna, even your breath. Even if you are materialistic, you're always connected with Krishna. Because without this connection, you can't live in this world. You can lose your eyesight, you can lose your hearings, but and you will stay alive. But if you lose your air, your breathing, you can't live in this world. So you can't live without chanting holy name. That is an interesting point. This is Vedic philosophy, very sophisticated, very deep. But in the Kali Yuga, Nobody have the brain for this. Nobody have intelligence. Therefore, once Prabhupada said that before you should eat, before understanding this deep philosophy, you should eat lots of halava, and halava will substitute, will fill this empty place in your, in your skull. You have a bread instead of brain, therefore you should eat lots of halava, and this halava will substitute your brain, and only after that you can understand Vedic philosophy. And actually it is so. First you feed prasadam, and person doesn't understand anything, Krishna, what Krishna, how Krishna, who Krishna, I don't understand anything. But if he take prasadam, after some times, he will understand, yeah, Krishna, why not? Therefore, Prabhupada always say that prasadam is a secret weapon. Uh-huh.
And Caitanya-Caritamrita Prabhu was telling the story that he was bringing his parents to some place in the US, and they came and he showed everything and they liked.
Mm-hmm.
And after that they went, and Prabhupada asked to Caitanya-Caritamrita Prabhu, do you give him the prasadam? He said no. He said, your oil spoiled. Everything is spoiled.
Yeah. I remember when I first make prasadam. It was 91st, 92nd, something like that, 1991, 1992. I was 14 or 13 years old, and I was very serious. I remember I tried to make kheer, sweet rice, but it became a rice porridge. It's not very easy to make kheer, not very easy to make sweet rice. And I remember that from beginning to end, I chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. When I put milk, when I put rice, when I risi, in Finnish, when I put sugar, I always chant Hare. I was very serious, It take about 1.5 hours to cook, and from beginning to the end, I chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And when I make rice and offer it, I have a book. So what should I do? Yeah, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna. Because I don't know everything, but I was very serious. So I wait for 15 minutes. Krishna ate it. Then I, took it away. And I remember there was me and my mother. She is a devotee now, also initiated devotee, disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami. And I give this prasadam to her also and take it. And actually, it was not very big amount, but we eat it for several days, maybe 4 days, because you take just 2 spoons and wow, what was it? And you was completely out of space, It was very nice. I remember also there was I was in far east of Russia, in Khabarovsk, and there was a Gaura Purnima, and we prepare 108 preparations for the deities. We prepare it about 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days, We was in the kitchen making these chapatis, We make about 1,000 chapatis. I do this. I make it, 1 hour after another, you just, rolling this chapati. 3 hours, and then you can relaxing for 15, 20 minutes and go back and rolling another chapatis. And that was предание, как сказать. Yeah, that was austerity. And we have wonderful kirtans for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. And there was wonderful feast with all this 108, preparation. Everyone get one spoon. But it was very, difficult to finish this prasadam because it was 808 spoons. Actually, it was a, big amount of prasadam. It was not very easy to eat it all. And everybody just switched off this material world. I remember I finished my prasadam. It was about 1 a.m. because prasadam was after midnight. It was 1 a.m. and I finished my prasadam and I walked off the temple and I saw the devotees. Just imagine, it was midnight, and I saw lots of devotees. They wandering around the courtyard of the temple, and all of them were switched off, this material reality. What are we doing here? What is a job, tomorrow, not job, just chant Hare Krishna. Everyone was very aloof, very transcendental. That was very unique experience for me. Yeah, we are inhabitants of Kali Yuga, but Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya make devotional, make spiritual practice very easy for us. Take prasadam, chant Hare Krishna, and very fast you became switch off this material reality. Very fast. Interesting. You shouldn't. It will not take lots of years, and lots of lifetimes to become spiritual advanced by mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And then Srila Prabhupada add his mercy to their mercy and make it even easier. Interesting, yeah. And actually we can all be part of this Sankirtana Lila. All of us can be part of this Sankirtana Lila. We can make it very easy for someone else. Prabhupada make it easy for us, and we became a devotee. And we can make this part very easy for someone else by giving them Bhagavad Gita, by giving them prasadam, by giving them spiritual holy name, and so on. So we can be part of Gauranga Lila, Sankirtana Lila. Today I heard, when I washed myself, I heard this lecture of Prabhupada, and he said that, yeah, holy name is not different from Krishna. Therefore, if you take shelter in Sankirtana movement, you are actually taking shelter of Krishna. Just, remain in the Sankirtana movement, and you will get shelter of Krishna. Therefore, Sankirtana movement is not, it's identical to Krishna, not different from Krishna. Text 102. Ei Chandra Surya Dui Paramasadaya Jagatera Bhagya Gaude Karila Udaya. These two, the sun and moon, are very kind to the people of the world. Thus, for the good fortune of all, they have appeared on the horizon of Bengal. Purport. The celebrated ancient capital of Sena dynasty, which was known as Gauda Desha or Gauda, was situated in what is now the modern district of Malda. Actually, I never was there, Malda. Later, this capital was transferred to the Nine of Central Island on the western side of the Ganges at Navadvipa. Oh, yeah, we was there. Which is now known as Mayapur and was then called Gaudapura. Lord Chaitanya appeared there, and Lord Nityananda came there and joined him from the district of Birbhum. They appeared on the horizon of Gauda Desha to spread the science of Krishna consciousness And it is predicted that as the sun and moon gradually move west, the movement they begin 500 years ago will come to the Western civilization by their mercy. Interesting. Sun go to the west from east to the west, and Sankirtan movement also go from east to the west. Very beautiful, как сравнение.
Analogy.
Yeah, very beautiful analogy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu drive away the 5 kinds of ignorance of the conditioned souls. In the Mahabharata Udyoga Parva, 43rd chapter, these 5 kinds of ignorance are described. They are, first, accepting the body to be the self. Second, making material sense gratification one's standard of enjoyment. Third, being anxious due to material identification. Fourth, lamenting. And fifth, thinking that there is anything beyond the absolute truth. Interesting. Mahabharata Udyoga Parva. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya eradicate these 5 kinds of ignorance. Whatever one sees or otherwise experiences, one should know to be simply an exhibition of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's energy. Everything is a manifestation of Krishna. Yeah, we can see that the idea of happiness and enjoyment that we have right now in Kali Yuga is absolutely opposite to Vedic idea of happiness. Vedic idea of happiness is that you can be happy if you get rid of ignorance. Ignorant person can't be happy. Prabhupada very often used this words, foolish paradise. Fool's paradise. Fool's paradise, yeah. I can enjoy whatever, I can do whatever I want. I can eat whatever I want, I can drink whatever I want, I can sleep with whoever I want, and so on. That's fool's paradise. And you can go to hell however you want, whichever way you want. Idea of Vedic happiness is that you don't have limitation, you don't have anxieties, and therefore you're feeling happiness. You are peaceful and happy. Idea of this modern world is, yeah, you're lamenting, you anxious, but you have a chance to do whatever you like. That's an illusion. Interesting point. In one commentary, in one Srimad Bhagavatam commentary, Prabhupada brought that in Kali Yuga, it is easier to go to the spiritual world than to go to the hell. Interesting. Because for going to spiritual world, you just should sit and chant Hare Krishna. That's all. But for going to the hell, you should, have slaughterhouses and factories and everything like that. You should. To go to the hell, you should spend lots of energy. To go to the Krishna, to the spiritual world, just chant Hare Krishna. Just be happy chanting Hare Krishna, taking Prasadam. For example, now we have Kirtan, and it was very joyful. For going to spiritual world, we should just, be joyful. Interesting. Prabhupada said that we are dancing our way to Krishna, dancing and eating our way to Krishna. Eat prasadam, dance, eat prasadam, dance, eat prasadam, dance. And in between this, we do some practical service, going to Sankirtana and supporting temple and so on. But, maybe sometimes it is hard to support the temple. You need money. I was a temple president. It's not easy. You need money, you need to pay your bill and so on. But the main duties is to take prasadam, chant Hare Krishna, and if you do this, it make the whole process joyful. and you can tolerate, another service, supporting the temple and so on. You can tolerate it. If you are pleased you to chant Hare Krishna, then everything became untolerable. But if you chant Hare Krishna, if you are joyful, you can do any service for Krishna, any service for Prabhupada, supporting temples and so on. So our first duty is to get rid of ignorance. It's mean that we should change our conception of happiness. Happiness is when we are not anxious, when we are not lamenting, and when we see the absolute truth in everything and anything. That is a conception of happiness, which we can, gather from Vedic philosophy. Now we have another conception of happiness in this world. I have a senses, and the senses should enjoy. And thus I became happy. But that is an illusion. Because if you enjoy your senses, you became more and more anxious. You can't satisfy senses. Senses can be peaceful. That is the problem. And Prabhupada, in this commentary, Prabhupada told us that was one of the main reasons why Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda came to this world, to show another conception of happiness, another conception of how to be happy in this material world, chant Hare Krishna, have a peaceful mind, losing any anxieties and limitations, and be happy in this platform. When I understand my connection with Krishna, with absolute truth, and that make me happy. So, text 103. Saidui Prabhurakari Charana Vandana Yanhaite Vignanasha Abhishta Purana. Let us therefore worship the lotus feet of these two lords. Thus one can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. And we have this opportunity, we have these lords on the altar. And every devotee here in Helsinki should worship them. We can do this personally, came to the temple, bowing down and do some service. And then when we came to the temple, we should take something with us for the Lord, banana, apples, something, little of money, put it there in the box. We should take something to Krishna. That's very important. And also we can worship these two lords by distributing holy name, by distributing books, by distributing prasadam. This is, we can say, board worship. Как широкое, шире. Broad worship to the Lord. Yeah. We can worship them personally, and also we can worship them, by distributing this knowledge, spiritual knowledge, which they, bring to this world. And thus we can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. We get rid of difficulties that we have, and also we can help another people get rid of their difficulties on the path of self-realization. Okay. Grantara Caitanya-Caritamrita Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nittai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Вопрос. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So how can we become serious?
When I was in school, we have this labor lessons. They teach you how to, make everything like men do, how to Забить гвоздь. I don't know.
To put the nail.
Yeah, to put the nail and how to use, everything, hammer and everything like that. And when we ask our teacher how to do, he usually, answered, just do it. You should have your experience. There is no theoretical way to understand how to nailing. So you should be serious. I think the best way to be serious is to have association with serious devotees. To see how they are serious. And заразиться, да?
You get infected.
Yeah, and infected by their seriousness. Yeah. Therefore, it's very important to hear from Prabhupada, from spiritual masters, from sannyasis, because they are serious. And for example, in my example, I can say that I became little more serious when I have opportunity to live with my spiritual master. When he came to our city, I lived with him. I saw him, and when some another sannyasis came, I also lived with him as a servant, and it was very good experience. And Srila Prabhupada did something like that. 1 year before man takes sannyas, he lived with Srila Prabhupada, he traveled with him, and Prabhupada teach him how to be a sannyasi, how to be serious. That's very important thing, that we should have this association with serious devotees. And then we will have this inspiration to be serious. But also sometimes, mood of ignorance, mood of passion, acting, like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, sometimes mood of ignorance, prevail, sometimes passion prevail, and so on. But sometimes be serious means just continue. For example, if you have not very good period in life, mood of ignorance is covering you, and if you just continue to chant your 16 rounds, it means that you're very serious now. Because in these situations, any not serious person will give up Krishna consciousness completely. And if you just continue your chanting, that means you are serious. For example, when my wife gave birth of daughter, it's very uneasy time for a woman when child just born. He took lots of time from you, and it's very uneasy to chant good rounds. And my wife came to Bhakti Vaibhav Swami and asking him, what should I do? I can't chant my japa properly. And Maharaj told her, now you like, these Marines on duty. Everything uneasy on duty, you have this, coloring your machine gun, it's very uneasy, you are on duty. So you should have this counter and chant whenever you can and whatever you can, just chant your 16 rounds. That is your seriousness like right now. Because, situation is very uneasy for you. And after some years, you can, return to your regular good chanting. But now in this situation, serious for you, be serious means, to complete your 16 rounds, because situation is very unsteady for you. Sometimes it's like that, Because usually we compare ourselves to the sannyasis. But sannyasi doesn't have much trouble in this material world. They don't need to, making money, supporting families, go to work, like that. Yeah, they have lots of opportunities to be serious in devotional service. But if you are grihastha, it's not easy. So for times for grihastha is to be serious means to complete his 16 rounds, today. That means he's very serious. And also, we should be very inspired others. We should inspire others always. Yeah, you're a good devotee. You chant 8 rounds. You complete your 16 rounds today or tomorrow or yesterday. Yeah, you are very serious. And when we inspiring others, we became inspiring by ourselves. We became very serious. Interesting. Also, that's the trick. If you are inspiring others, you are inspiring ourselves. That's the trick. And yeah, that's my answer. I don't know if it fits you.
You also mentioned that we should chant Hare Krishna and be happy, but we see sometimes devotees chant Hare Krishna not happy. Why it is so?
Yeah, that's interesting. When you chant Hare Krishna, for example, in Kirtan dance, and you will become happy. That's the psychology. Mind can be unhappy if body is dancing. Any psychology told you this. Any. If you are in depression, you should do something with your body. They call it activate the client. In psychology terms, activate the clients mean, because depression means, I just, lay down in the corner and I'm unhappy, I'm depressed. So first step, you should do something with your body. Walking, running, something like that. We have kirtan, dancing. If you feel unhappy, dance. And your mind became happy. That's the trick, If it doesn't feel happiness when you chant, just dance, and you will become happy.
Chant with your job. Dance with
Yeah, that's all. That's also. Yeah. I saw this. I saw once there is a Mahavishnu Swami, also a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he chant japa like that with a harmonium. I saw this. I saw how he danced when he chant japa with the beats. He came to our temple and saw it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. For because if I wouldn't dance, I will sleep. And you can't sleep when you dance. One very important thing, actually, people now give too much importance to what they feel. That is the ошибка, mistake. Actually, it's not very important what you feel right now, because feeling is changing every second. What is important if you do right now? Because you will get results of what you're doing. If you're dancing, you will be happy. You will get the result of dancing. So it's not, we should understand that all these feelings in the mind, and it's not very important. Mind is not us. So we can moderate what mind's feeling right now. If we are dancing, mind will dancing, and so on. So if a person is unhappy, yeah, sometimes there is a deep depression, yeah, clinical depression. And this person should go to the doctor. But it's not very, not very often you can see this. Usually it's just, feeling. But it's not very important. You see, I have three women in my family. I have wife, I have daughter, and I have mother-in-law. And I know how it's working, because woman is under this level of feelings. And sometimes, in the morning, my daughter is very, angry, in angry mood. I know my wife, think when I see my daughter is angry mood, my wife became very, how to say, depressed. Oh, she's angry again. But I know you should give some sweet to her, and her mood will change. Very easy thing. Just give some sweet, and she became happy. So it's not very important what you feel right now. We should understand it. What really important, what we do right now, because if we do something, we will get result of this, and this will change feeling. Yeah, is that good? Is that working here? You know, I'm a psychologist. And we can see this from spiritual point of view, for example, from Yoga Sutras, we can also drive this idea. And psychologists also told like that, you know, it's not very important what you feel right now, because feelings is changing. What important is what you do right now. If you do the right thing, you will get the right result, and you will be happy. Yeah.
Мне очень понравилось, когда вы подчеркнули этот момент танца, потому что многие преданные, они думают, что вот столько философии, все вот это все зашоривается. А Господь Чайтанья сказал, не думайте, что вы не станете счастливым, вам нужно просто петь и танцевать. А иногда, то есть, это все отдаляется, и вот философия так запутывает людей, что люди просто не сдерживаются с места.
Well, point is that sometimes we became too complex. But Lord Chaitanya will make it very easy. Everything make it very easy. Chant Hare Krishna, dance. We shouldn't be very complex. Yeah, everything is easy. It's easy. Sometimes, if we have, you know, complex mind, if we have developed intelligence, yeah, we can, you know, we can go deep to Vedanta Sutra, anything like that. Yeah. We lost the head.
Yeah, just Prabhupada always in his classes he's saying, oh, if you have very good intelligence and you're trying to go deep in philosophy, all right, we have 80 books. You can go into all our books. But the essence of these books is just dance and chant and take prasadam. But it's for the complicated mind. The same thing. If you understood the point that you need to dance, to chant, and the right mood, with the right mood, that's...
And I think the main here is if.
If you understood.
If you have.
Yeah.
Intelligence and so on. Yeah, that's very important for Kali Yuga, if you have. Do you know this famous story about Sparta? You know, when King Darius came to Sparta and he wanted to, you know, conquer Sparta. No, not King Darius, King of Athens, I think. And he wrote this letter to Spartanians. If I, you know, conquer you, I will destroy your Sparta. I will kill all of you. And they wrote back, you know, they sent him a message back with only one word, if. Another word they use for Spartanians is Laconians. They call Spartanians, Sparta people Laconians. And also, if you can derive your, you know, your thoughts with the smallest amount of words, it's called Laconians also. In Russia, we use this word лаконичный. They took it from Spartanians. If. So if you have sophisticated intelligence in Kali Yuga, yeah, if. But usually we can see it's not very easy to find someone with good intelligence. Yeah. Take lots of prasadam, and you have some intelligence. Yeah.
It's not intelligence, it's just complicated mind.
Yeah, complicated. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. They have lots of complicated mind. Therefore, for example, I don't like to. Sometimes devotee give me something that modern philosophy, say about life and so on. I don't like it because you consider only complicated minds. They make everything complicated. The Vedic point of view that как предназначение, purpose of philosophy is make everything clear, not complicated. But if you read some modern Western philosophies, their point to make even complicated. It's called prajalpa. Prajalpa is when you talk with somebody and you don't have this desire to, achieve some clear understanding from this conversation. Opposite to prajalpa is jalpa. Jalpa is when you're talking to somebody to make clear something. And Krishna taught in Bhagavad Gita, I am jalpa. I don't know this English, I don't remember this Sanskrit verse, but Krishna told, I am jalpa. So Vedic philosophy, the purpose of Vedic philosophy is make everything clear. And sometimes it's easier to be Krishna consciousness if you have simple mind. For example, Prabhupada gives example of gopis. Seniors just told them Krishna is God. Yeah, no problem. We take it. Very easy. Just taking what seniors say. Just taking what great sages said. And, take this process and go back to Godhead. No, you should, you should elaborate everything for me because I'm not so easy person, I shouldn't take this for granted. No, you should describe everything for me. It's very complicated, yeah. But you don't have an intelligence for understanding. What can you do? For example, there was this Descartes, yeah? And Descartes said that you should doubt in everything. And Prabhupada smashed his philosophy in one sentence. If you should doubt in everything, the first thing you should doubt is what Descartes said, that you should doubt in everything. It's useless philosophy. You should doubt in everything. Yeah, therefore I doubt in what you say. Vedic way is Vedic philosophy is another way. Yeah, there is a theory. Yeah, Krishna is God, and if you chant holy name, you will be happy. This is theory. Try it. Chant Hare Krishna for a week, and you will understand. Yeah, this theory is working. That's the Vedic way. Yeah, okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.